Hello, hello, everybody. Welcome. Delighted to see all of you, to be with all of you. This is a great, great pleasure. Welcome to everybody, and thank you for joining. So my name is Sophie Blum. I'm the Vice Chairwoman of the P&G Alumni Women Leadership Network. And today I'm your host, and delighted to celebrate together with me, Bernice Ang, that is going to be one of our guest speakers today, in order to celebrate together pretty early, so just out of Thanksgiving for the US-based people and in advance of end of the year celebration. We are here together in order to thank all of you and to really share a quality moment, to share together positive energy, to try to also continue to give to each of you. We have had a tremendous year together. 2024 has been extremely intense, full of, I would say, events online. We have done more or less 5 online events, a few also of face-to-face events in the various, I would say, geography all over the world in partnership with chapters also. And we've tried to, to answer your needs. You have told us you are interested by sustainability, you are interested by our alumni that wrote some books. So we've done some work. Some of you were very, very eager to learn more on AI. We did a webinar together also on AI. So this year has been extremely intense. My message as an introduction is to really welcome all your suggestions, all your, I would say, topics of interest, and also volunteering if you are up for, I would say, leading some of the subjects. So be with us. This will be a tremendous pleasure. Today we're going to spend some time together to review at very macro level and very high level overall what we are trying to lead and to bring you in this network. This is on the behalf of Luan Eckert, our chairwoman, that is leading us with a lot of passion, a lot of energy and dedication, and we are extremely thankful to have a wonderful leader to inspire us in the network, in the Women Alumni Network. We will spend some time. Some of you have about some highlights on one of my area of teaching, which is networking. So I will share with you some insights on strategic networking, which is overall, I would say, the core, the DNA of the alumni network. So that's nice. And then we'll leave the screen. I was going to say the floor, but let's say the screen to Bernice, who has accepted to be with us and to be extremely generous with her, with her knowledge and to empower us with some fabulous insights on, can I say, Bernice, on mental health already? So this is a bit the program. From a logistics standpoint, as for the one that are used to our webinars, I'm asking you to put your questions. We have plenty of time for Q&A. This is your time. So we have plenty of time for Q&A. What I propose is, what I ask is that you put them in the Q&A section. There is a box, not in the chat, because we cannot read the chat, but in the Q&A. And I will pause after my few highlights on networking and during also Bernice talk, in order to read your questions and to answer them live, so that it will be very easy. So I think we are good to go. Again, welcome to everybody. We are very excited to have all of you. And today I'm going to share a few highlights so that we are all, I would say, on the same on the same understanding of what's going on. So before getting into some, I would say, learnings, we wanted with Luan to reinforce and to further thank you, because really this year we've been growing our community significantly, double digit, and we've been also extremely fortunate to have a lot of you joining us in order to create new topics and in order to answer to our network needs. In order to do that, we have also, with a small group, a strategic group coming from the board, we have renewed our strategy in the Alumni Women Leadership Forum. And as you see here, we have decided to be extremely focused and extremely intentional on our mission, which is really to foster opportunities and enable P&G women alumni worldwide to further grow. And in order to do that, we focus only on 3 areas, just 3, because they are very meaningful. And at the end of the day, this is what will make the difference. The first one is about nurturing leadership. And in that context, some of you have been also partner of the coaching program. Bernice is here also in order to convey, I would say, the key highlights of the program. What we want to say here is that over the last few years, this program has really reached out to few hundreds of alumni, almost 500 if I'm not mistaken, and very successfully. So it's very rare that we see out of 1 to 10 grid of satisfaction, almost 11. So there is no grade. There is no grade over there. And I'm not surprised, because at the end of the day, this is really the core strengths of P&G, and we thank you and the entire team for that. I'm just also doing a little advertising here. So end of the year, also call to action. You have a last wave of opportunity to benefit from the coaching program. So if you're interested, just go into, I would say, the site. You have all the details over there. We'll put you a link in the chat after. The second area that is also, I think it's important to note, the coaching program is also has almost reached a $10,000 contribution to the foundation over the years as part of supporting also alumni. So that's something that is really important. The second area is enabling meaningful connection. Here you have noticed we have significantly increased the conferences, the content, and the tool. I'm just going to to mention that we look forward to see you in Berlin in June 2025. This is going to be a big deal, and we're going to have a phenomenal also presence and events, and the Women Leadership Forum will be there. More to come. Stay tuned. Last but not least, this is the big, I would say, news of 2024. We have launched a board program. Some of you have really asked about insight, tips, and also a more structured way to know how to navigate a private or public board, or family-owned, or a non-profit. So under the leadership of Rebecca, one of our members, and with a team all around, we are moving forward with this program. More to come during the conference, and more to come also with some events in January, Feb, and March. So this is overall, I would say, a very fast highlight of what we've been doing. Here my message is, please, this is really as successful as what you put in. So your input, your questions, your topics of interest, and also your willingness to drive some of the project or to do some of the events, just reach out, either myself or Luan, and tell us, and we will be very happy to be in touch and to organize together something that that is important to you and where you feel there is value to be brought to the network. Any specific, I would say, question you would have, I would say, from the overall overview, don't hesitate, I would say, to put in the Q&A. I will take them at the end. Okay. So as promised, strategic networking. So a few overall have asked about, you know, how to become better, how to be proficient in networking. Now, it's a great question, and it's a question that is extremely relevant for an alumni, a P&G alumni. Because in fact, when I was thinking about it, and the more I work on the topic, the more I figure out that in P&G, and it is organized for networking. In fact, when we organize colleges, when we organize all kinds of events, especially at the capability level globally, and those are jobs that I've done also, we take care of. I would say the seniority of people, how to make sure we create the ground for very active networking. Now, when you go out of P&G, life is much different and much more, you're much more left at your own, of course, at your own discretion and your own knowledge, and how strategically you take or not networking. And in fact, that's also why I thought that, I mean, to answer your question, there are few, we're going to see a little framework after, but there are two questions to ask ourselves. The first one is, what is the goal of networking? What is your goal? Because in fact, when you step back, is it to get a job? Many people are reaching out in order to get a job, and that's great. That's why we have a network. So please continue to do so. You are in between, you hesitate, you don't know exactly who to turn to. Every day I have calls with people looking for a next professional adventure. This is great. So a network is for that. But sometimes it is for something else. It is for getting new skills. It is for getting new speaking opportunity. Some people are building their own business, or some people are starting to get specialized in something, and they look for opportunities to practice or to have a speaking opportunity. Or some others are looking for a specific nonprofit project, for example. It's very important to, you know, like a good strategy, to define exactly what it is that we are looking for. Not that you cannot look for everything, of course, but when you start to put together your action plan for strategic networking, it's much better and much more efficient. It gets you to much better results if you are just creating some, I would say, clarity on what is the goal. The second I would say, question is, do I have a clear vision or a clear understanding of my networking map? As far as I was concerned, the answer was very clear, no. I had a lot of, I would say, I thought I had no network, I must admit, and then I figured out that, no, indeed, I have a pretty big network, and many of us have fabulous networks. Now, not necessarily structured and organized. Why I'm saying that? Because depending on what is the goal, it's going to be much easier to structure it. One very simple way to remember how to structure a network is to split in three: the personal contact, the strategic contacts, and the operational contacts. The personal contacts are people that care for you, people that are close to you, people that would be ready, even if they are not in your professional field, to help you or to give you a hand in order to think through some of the topics or some of the subjects you might be looking at. The strategic contacts are contacts that are more in your industry or in your aspiring industry, the industry you aspire to join. And they can be sponsors, They can be mentors, they can be door openers. Not necessarily that they have a job for you. So I know this is very disappointing to hear that, because I would love to be able to, I would say, when I get all those questions, to find jobs or to connect immediately. But this is not the case, but still to make sure that at least to have a positive introduction, or to introduce and help getting into the decision makers. And the third one, operational contact, those are contacts that helps you get the job done. Either you are in another company and you reach out to people in order to get the job done, or you need some help in order to achieve something. Those are people that are I would say that like to work with you, that are ready to help, that are always, I would say, well connected. So that's overall the way to think about it. Now, in order to put it in practice, I've created a little framework that is, I think, memorable and easy just to keep in mind. It's not, I would say, the only one for sure, but it's a very easy one just to remember in order to create. Of course, you need then to create your plan, but it's called Connect. That it's at least memorable. Connect for strategic networking. C, like communicate. Communicate regularly. Communicate in a very, I would say, targeted manner, but communicate having in mind the goal, of course, that you are looking at, and which type of network you want to reach out, strategic, operational, or personal. The second element is offer value. Offer value is for me something that is fundamental. Sometimes when people ask for questions, they about networking, they ask for, okay, they think that it's a transactional, I would say, action. No. When you think about strategic networking, it is overall a kind of, it's like Stephen Covey, think win-win, one of the 7 habits, but it's really think win-win. So when you're there, you offer value. I have one alumni in mind. She's phenomenal. Each time that we meet, and I go there just for a coffee because she's a friend and it's a pleasure to meet her. But she's so thoughtful. Each time we meet, she has a topic to offer, be it a new article, be it a conference to attend. These kind of people, you say, wow, thank you. You feel with a lot of gratitude. And that's a little secret to be a good networker, is think about value, offer value, and don't count. It's not a transaction. The more you give, the more you get.
I love that, Sophie. It's like,
yes, you like it?
Or you take, because oftentimes people think, oh, this is what I need from you, and people have a very taking mentality.
And that's, I'm delighted it's meaningful for you, because I think it's a secret. And I think if I have one thing to remember and to give as my gift for the end of the year, it's really offer value. It's in other terms, it's what I would call abundance mentality. That goes with one of my value, which is generosity. But I think don't count. It will come back to you, exponentially. But that's, you understand that I have a lot of passion for this area. Next one is nurture trust. Be reliable. Say what you do what you say. You're there, you're trustworthy. You cannot say I cannot. That's okay. But that's really a big deal. When you network thoughtfully. What does it mean? It means that, in fact, think about your goal and how to offer value and how to nurture trust. How does it translate when we say network thoughtfully? It just translates, for example, on being clear about what you're looking for, and trying to, I would say, leverage the time and the energy of the person you are networking with, I mean, in that direction. And I know in Europe it's a little bit, maybe I saw there are different type of culture about that. And sometimes when you're too direct, it's a little bit strange. I think I encourage everybody to be thoughtfully direct, I would say, when you network, because you know people will thank you. People will thank you, even if you say, "Look, I don't have anything, I would say, to give or to ask. I just needed a hug. I just needed a hug. I needed your smile. I needed your energy." Last week, I had someone. She just came and she said, "Look, I need nothing. 10 minutes. I just need your drive, your punch. I need your energy, and that's what I need." Okay, very clear, very. So that's what I mean by network thoughtfully. Next one is engage authentically. I mean, this a lot has been said of authenticity. I'm not going to be too long. The what works here is just be you. Just be you. You know, I mean, on networking, it's even more important than anywhere else. Just be you. I mean, people when they network, they want to network with a real you. It's like me if you would ask me to network and to, you know, not to smile, for example. You would immediately ask me, Sophie, are you okay? Do you need something doesn't go well? Okay, I'm me. That's my way to see life. What can I do? Okay, so then celebrate, celebrate milestone. What do I mean here? You know those little things, like sometimes you receive on LinkedIn or on WhatsApp, happy birthday, or I saw you talking there, or I saw you appearing there. Just a little, with a little emoji or whatever. That's cool. That's cool. This is keeping you an authentic person and close to everybody. And then the last one here, some people are laughing at me, but I will still put it. Track progress. What happened? Okay, so that's overall. I would say what I wanted to share and to give. Before overall we go to the next section. I'm going just to open up the question, no questions. So we are good. We are good to go. I didn't want to. Okay, so hopefully it was clear. And now my real pleasure and delight is to introduce to all of you Bernice. I mean, some would say Bernice doesn't need any introduction. Bernice is first and foremost an exceptional partner in the network. She has become a friend. She's really extremely involved and helpful, and with a lot of positive energy. And Bernice is, I would say, a very experienced, and that's why it's always a delight. Today, she is a professional coach, extremely successful, but she has, I mean, 2 decades of executive experience, extremely successful. But, you know, not surprisingly, with 2 main outcomes, she gets things done extremely successfully, and she does it with passionate and inspired teams. So who better than, I would say, Bernice, in order to help us and to teach us a bit, to give us some excitement as a gift for this year-end. The topic she has chosen to capture is a topic that is fundamental. But it's a topic that, especially for P&G alumni, we might not have understood to its depth during our career, while it was always there, but we not necessarily, I would say, use the right label, the right wording, the right understanding of concept. And that's why I'm so delighted we have Bernice with them. Bernice, the screen is yours.
Thank you, Sophie. That's such a generous introduction. And I love your whole strategic networking connect model because it's so true. And the one thing I always remember someone telling me is that you want to plant your tree long before you need the shade. So it's an ongoing process. You want to keep nurturing those relationships that you build. So today we are talking about gifts that we can share with you. And I was thinking, what's the gift that I can offer that will have a lasting impact on your lives? And the first thing I thought of was to help everyone really find a way to think of ways to navigate your life and create a future that lights you up. Because ultimately, as much as we work so hard, we want to be successful, the ultimate goal is to be happy. And how we feel about our lives, how we feel about our future is determined by how we think. And so it's really important for us to build mental fitness. And I love this term, mental fitness, because we all know so much about physical fitness. You know, we build it into our lives. We go to the gym 3-4 times a week. It's very upfront in front of us that we know we have to take care of our bodies. We have to be strong. Otherwise, when we get old, we'll break our bones and all of that. But nobody really talks much about mental fitness, which is the thing that determines our outlook and our mindset in lives. So when I learned about this concept, it really transformed how I view life. It allows me moment to moment to shift my mind when I get hijacked, and we all get hijacked by certain things, certain people that kind of hook us. But when you build your mental fitness, you're able to shift very quickly back to something positive that will allow you to move forward. So for the next 15 minutes or so, I want to share some of these structure, program, and offer you the ability to learn and use it as well. So as a human being, we tend to operate from two regions of the brains. The limbic region, which is the one that we are all born with, and evolutionarily, we are wired to survive. And that means scan for danger, look for the saber-toothed tiger in the bush that's about to eat us. And when we do that, we're always on high alert. And there's a lot of negative emotion that runs through us. So there's a feeling of fear and shame and blame and guilt. So that's a mindset that sometimes is helpful, but in urgent, dangerous situations, right? When we work from that survival mindset. But not often in your real life are we in such challenging situations. But when we always operate in that survival mindset, what happens is we're very tight, we get very worried, we're always looking for who's out to get us or what's the danger here. And it's important to learn to shift from that survival mindset to a thrive mindset, looking for what is it that will create a future that makes us connected to people, feel the empathy, and truly see the possibility rather than the threat. And so the whole theme of this conversation is about shifting from a survival mindset to a thrive mindset. And this is one of those things that is easier said than done, right? We all say to ourselves, yeah, you know, we should be more this, less that, but how? So what I will share with you is a little bit of the science behind it, and then I'll share the practice for it. So in the survival mindset, on the left side, we tend to have a lot of saboteurs in our minds, right? You have things like being a controller or a hyperachiever or a victim. These are all saboteurs that that we all learned as protective strategies when we were young. Something happened to us, we fell down, and perhaps we decided, oh, in the future, I have to be really careful. I should look before I jump. Somebody scolds you for something. We, as a little 5-year-old, we make decisions about how we want to live life that stay with us for a lot of our lives. And these saboteurs tend to motivate us through fear and stress and insecurity. So anytime you're feeling negative emotions, you can be sure that there's a saboteur that's running the show. And when you are saboteur led, you tend to be very fearful, but not possibility minded. So the other side, which is the thrive and sage mindset, is having this motivates you through more positive emotions. And you learn to be empathetic first to yourself. You have kindness and compassion towards yourself. And when you start with that, you'll be able to have compassion towards other people as well. Then you get very curious. Many of us are very fast to judge. We hear something and we have a judgment about it, good, bad, whatever. But having a mindset of curiosity and thinking about, I wonder what that meant, and seeking to understand rather than judging that, oh, I agree or don't disagree. That will open up our whole lives in a way that makes it so interesting and discovery filled rather than standing back and assessing. And that allows us to be more creative, passionate, and purposeful. And when you're passionate and purposeful, you get into very, very active actions. So the actions then generate the outcomes that you will have in life. So I'm going to give you one example of what a saboteur is like. And most P&G people I know, including myself, have a hyperachiever saboteur. And what is it like? It's someone that really wants to have constant performance and achievement. And it's when you have this constant accomplishment, one goal after another, one trophy after another, that we feel like, oh, we're worthy of respect. And it gives us a lot of self-validation. And when you have this kind of mindset, and most of us, when we're kids, it's always like going for the gold medal, going for the awards, going for the leadership recognition. When we chase this leads to very unsustainable workaholic tendencies. We get burnt out. And then we also tend to lose touch with our deeper emotional and relationship needs, right? We're always focused on, what do I need to do next? What results do I need to accomplish next? And that becomes a treadmill. It's a hedonic treadmill that it's very hard to get off from. So you might wonder, well, how do I know if I have this hyperachiever saboteur, right? And I'll give you a few tips. Here are some characteristics that often describe a hyperachiever saboteur. So if you tend to be competitive and very conscious of your image and status, how you're perceived, if you are good at not showing your insecurities and projecting your best foot forward most of the time, if you are very goal-oriented, I think that's most of us P&Gers, right? And have a workaholic streak, it just go, go, go. If you are very into perfecting your public persona, spend a lot more time polishing that image rather than introspecting, reflecting, how do I become a deeper person that grows every day. And sometimes we can be self-promoting. We're taught that, right? We have to toot your own horn and you have to show your accomplishments. Otherwise, people don't know. And sometimes we could keep people at a safe emotional distance, mostly, right? So people feel like, yeah, I have worked with you, but I don't really know you. I don't really know the real you. And oftentimes the thoughts that go through our minds, if we have a big hyper achiever saboteur, is I must be the best at what I do. And if I can't be exceptional, if I can't be outstanding, I won't bother, because, I want to play the game really, really well. So it's a big driver. Then I must be efficient and active and effective. For me, that's a very big one. It's like I'm always going for efficiency. How do I combine different activities? How do I make things done in the shortest possible time? That's like a big drive for me. And sometimes the emotions that get in the way of our performance, because we're always thinking and in action. And we think of like, I can be anything I want to be. The sky's the limit, and anything's possible, which is a huge driver. And sometimes we equate our self-worth with success. And as long as I'm successful and others think well of me, then I have very good self-worth. So as you can see, when we operate with this kind of mentality, and that's driving us, it might generate a lot of success, because a lot of people tell me, but isn't that a good way sometimes to be? Because it drives me, it moves me forward, it makes me do things that I normally would not think is possible. It pushes me to great heights. Yes, you're right. It can bring you success, but not happiness. And so ultimately, what we want is to have a life that is joyful, a life that is fulfilled, and a life that is worthwhile, right? So in order for us to generate the highest success and sustain happiness, we need to learn more strategies than just being pushed by our saboteurs, because our sage mindset can lead us to joy and happiness. So I will send this deck out to anyone who wants it. There's a very fun 10-minute assessment that will help you identify your saboteur. And we all have these saboteurs, but usually you have one or two that are the strongest and highest, right? So from a controller to restless to a perfectionist, which is a stickler, pleaser, avoider, victim, hyper-rational, that's another big P&G one. So with the link, you could find out what's my saboteur. And then you can also do your PQ, which is the Positive Intelligence Score assessment, to find out how often am I in a positive mindset that helps me thrive on the top of this spiral, and how often am I in a survival mindset. And in order for us to have momentum, to not get hijacked, we need to be at about the 75%, in that upper quadrant, because we need to have enough charge so that when something happens, or when somebody does something that could trigger us, we have enough juice to be able to push through with a mindset that pushes for workability rather than reactivity. So with this link, you'll find out what it is. So I talked about all this in the context of positive intelligence. And positive intelligence is a fantastic program, which I will introduce to you. It's grounded on 4 sciences: neuroscience, cognitive behavioral psychology, performance science, how to get the most out of people's performances, and positive psychology. So the blending of these 4 sciences produced the program of positive intelligence, which uses factor analysis. If you understand the whole concept of factor analysis, which is in the world with a whole big spectrum with thousands and thousands of color, if you reduce it to the basic 3 colors, there's only 3 colors. Now, are the red, green, and yellow. And with the combination of these colors, you could make any palette of colors possible. So in the same way, Positive Intelligence, this program, distilled all the human behaviors and observations of both the positive ones and negative ones, and it distilled it into these 10 saboteur behaviors and 5 sage behaviors. So knowing what these are help you address the opportunity, because unless you know what you're wrestling with, it's very hard to win the wrestle with something you want to overcome, right? So first you must understand, then you could work through it. And when we work through these changes, when we want to effect lasting change, insight is not enough. Oftentimes we learn through a seminar, we get insights, we get inspired, we go, wow, that's so true. I'm excited, I'm inspired, and I'm going to change. But with insight, that's just the first 20% of understanding. But the important part is building that mental muscle, doing the practice and making it a habit. Because unless you are constantly practicing the mindfulness practices, then it's easy to default to our limbic brain of being hijacked by whatever makes us reactive. So the example I gave you of a hyperachiever, the practice there is to shift from being so focused on the outcome and being only results oriented to being detached from the outcome. Detached doesn't mean don't care, right? Detached just means that you are not so obsessed over just that outcome. You zoom out your lens and have a broader view, and then you say, this is the best I can do, the rest will let things unfold, right? Don't have that tight grasp of the outcome you want, but focus on the journey, which is along the way. What am I appreciating? What progress can we celebrate, rather than keep on, oh, we're not there yet, we're not there yet. So mental fitness, I mentioned, requires training. Just like when you want to be buff, you go to the gym. You can't just go for a month, twice a week, and expect to come out buff, right? It is a process. And the program I'm about to introduce to you is called Positive Intelligence, and it's a beautiful program. I've done this now 3 times over the last 3 years. And it's a 6-week program. It's app guided. You download it into your phone, and it requires you to do 2 sets of things. And if you feel like you can commit to do these 2 things, you will be very successful at this. So the first thing is you have to allocate 1 hour a week to watch a video to do the concept and education learning part of it, right? So this is the 20% of insight and understanding. Then the 80% of building the muscle is the practice. And all it requires is 15 minutes a day, every day, to practice what you learn. And the app will actually guide you and teach you, how do I shift from being dragged around by my saboteurs to being that in a sage mindset where I have peace, I have joy, and I have the ability to distance myself from the reactions that happen. So my gift to you is, there's a Positive Intelligence Program app I told you. It's normally $995 for the app, but the first 3 people, I have 3 free seats that I would like to offer to you. So you could just send me a message at berniceang.com and say you'd like to have this app. I'll register you. And after the first 3, I can offer a 50% discount for the public rate. So I hope that everyone takes advantage of this, because it truly is one of those for life kind of practice. It's like I mentioned, I've done this 3 times for 3 years. I've put, I don't know, maybe over 70 people into the program. Every single one of them have said this has been life altering, and it impacts their everyday thinking, everyday choices that they make, and it's just amazing. And also for you to know, Sophie had mentioned we have an executive coaching program. There's a roster of 13 really qualified, really amazing coaches that are available to you. I'm just flashing their faces here. You know, we have people all over Asia and Europe and North America, and we've coached people in all geographies. There's 13 of us. You probably recognize some of them because they've had many, many years. We all have at least 2 decades of executive experience. And then we've been coaching for at least 5 years. And so it's a really phenomenal team. So with that, I hope that you enjoyed it. And if there are questions, I'm happy to answer.
So first and foremost, I mean, thank you so much, Bernice. I mean, absolutely phenomenal, and so relevant to our P&G background. This is definitely, I would say, probably one of our biggest strengths and our biggest challenge. Especially outside when not everybody around us has the same saboteur kind of also profile in mind. We got some wonderful supporter while you were talking. So the one was also answering. So I tell you, people found it fabulous. Some people have asked if where they can reach out. So Luan has sent your email. I'll send as you shared. We also said that we will share the materials for the people that are registered. And maybe one thought to complement what you've been saying, I think the beauty of I would say having a coach and being accompanied, it's a little bit like if you think about the Olympics, you know, this summer, not so far, it's not so long ago. It was in Paris. It was phenomenal. Not sure if some of you probably attended. And, you know, I mean, to get for the Olympic medals and the gold, would you think just to practice by yourself? I don't know. I mean, so of course I'm of course I'm completely trapped here because I'm very vulnerable because I'm exposing my hyperachiever, I would say, brain. That's true. But would you think that overall we can achieve a gold medal by ourselves? And I think when you think about it, you know, of course not. Of course not. At least a therapist, at least, of course, a sport coach, I would say maybe a mental practitioner, a dietitian, some courses on nutrition. I mean, at least 6 people around you, maybe 8. But the same when you are in business. I mean, regardless, whatever you are looking for. But in P&G, we know what we are trying to achieve usually. When you are in, it's another story. When you become an alumni, the game has changed. And this game, in fact, and that's why for me it's a fabulous gift, Bernice, what you are giving. This game is a game where we want to be gold medalists in whatever field we choose, non-profit, profit, whatever. And sometimes we forget that this is not something we can practice or we can deliver alone. And that's why I'm a so huge fan also of all these groups. So of coaching, as you understand. If you want to know more, really, I repeat, Luan put it in the chat, but I repeat, you go to pgalums.com, coaching, it's resources, coaching, and then you have everything you can have access to. I think that overall, we have no more questions. Maybe one more. Let's see. I love Angela. Hi, Angela. Great to have you with us. That's exciting. I love thinking about mental and physical. This wasn't part of the dialogue as we came through our careers. Look forward to exploring this tool more and becoming the gold medalist with all the tools you are helping us with. Love you, Angela. Thank you.
One thing that I wanted to add is I will be sending out the recording along with the documents that Bernice shared with that recording in an email. I'll use the email address that you all registered for the event. So I just wanted to make that clear to everyone. And also from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to wish you all, hope you enjoyed our gift to you for this season of gifting. And hope that it'll help launch you into a powerful and rewarding and heart-filled new year, 2025. Love anyone who's interested to get involved with us. We're all 100% volunteer effort. We're all just doing things we love, even giving back to P&G alumni. So please, please don't hesitate to get involved. Bernice and Sophie are absolutely beautiful humans and so talented and so giving. And that's what we're about. This is our job. This is our just a way to, in a giving way, give back to all of you that have been following us. So we're going to get better at developing email lists and including you in future events, making sure you get the word, because it's not a perfect system yet by any means. But if you can hook into pgalums.com, check out our newsletter from the alumni, go into LinkedIn. We have our own private LinkedIn site for the WLF, and we populate that with what we're doing. We're going to continue the activity in the new year. And you're going to see more in the area of board, how to get board seats, how to understand what they're all about, how to prepare yourself for them. We're going to be doing a lot more in the new year as we get ready for the Berlin conference. So I wish you all a happy ending season and a launch into 2025 in a powerful and happy and satisfying way. Thank you. Any closing, Sophie or Bernice?
I want to close by thanking all the team that is here, all the alumni. I will read the last, I would say, messages, which are very touching. Thank you for your generosity. Thank you, Bernice, Sophie, and Luan. You do incredible work. Thank you, Sarah. Also, we have Wendy. Hello, Bernice. Thank you for your lovely presentation. I have got some diagnosed Parkinson's disease 7 years ago, and now I have a platform inspire each other with positivity and make a magazine for people, and also with Parkinson, and also set up yearly women and Parkinson events. So I share my positivity journey, Wendy.
I love it. There are lots of things that are not within our control, but the one thing we can control is what we think. And so making sure that we are mindful of what enters our minds and what we nurture in our thoughts will really provide us with much more happiness.
Absolutely. So we all love you. We send you tremendous love and happiness and everything we can give you for this end of the year. We feel blessed to have had the opportunity to, I would say, give a bit, today. And I will say that we are blessed in the network to be guided by Luan. So all our thanks love to you, Luan, on the behalf of all of us, because we all think the same thing. Without your leadership, we would not be where we are. So thank you on behalf of the entire network. To all of you, we love you. Thank you, Bernice, for joining us. And we see you very soon. Stay tuned, because 2025 is going to be another phenomenal year with also our conference. So stay tuned, a lot to come. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks all.
Bye.
Let's see. Okay.